Hey, my fellow multidimensionals, it's Asia Andromeda of multidimensionalu.com. Okay, in this weekly vlog, let us talk about your heart's desires being not only your agreements for this lifetime, what you agreed to do, but your obligation. Okay, we're at a time on the planet where, this is March of 2019, where our contracts have really kicked into high gear. Are way showing, I'm talking to all of you starseeds like me, starseed way showers, coming in with mad skills, innate abilities from many lifetimes around the multiverse in service to the human collective and Gaia. It is an obligation to pursue joy and happiness, all those wonderful things written by the inspired and enlightened founding fathers of this country. It is not just a right, not for starseeds, okay? So this is a bit of tough talk here, and I've channeled Archangel Michael enough to know that when we've been dragging our feet on our soul assignments long enough, we're gonna get our asses handed to us. So I'm right there with you. I'm in the next huge up-leveling, feeling like, on the one hand, oh yes, of course. And on the other hand, are you kidding me? I don't get a comfort zone? Like, I don't even get 2 weeks in a comfort zone? So it sounds like a nice woo-woo, law of attraction, Abraham Hicks thing to do to seek joy. Like, it's this nice thing that we want to do of changing our lives so we live a nicer, healthier, happier life. But here's what I found and discovered for myself and pretty much everyone that I work with. We are held to a higher standard because we are capable of it and because that's what we agreed to. So it's not just a right that you can pursue at your leisure to pursue your joy and your heart's desires. It's your obligation. It's my obligation. And I found that when I do that, everything magically unfolds. Like, I've been sharing this journey. It's about to do it again, okay? And what I can tell you is that the acceleration is on. So if you've been feeling a sense of urgency about getting your work done, please understand this is why. Especially if you've kind of dragged your feet. It almost feels like there's catch-up work to do. We are not under the illusion of free will. Okay, we broke out of programmed will. That's awesome, right? Many of you have I've facilitated a lot of fully unplugging from the matrix for people I work with. So that's great. That means that a lot of the negative, BS programs just don't apply to us. They don't affect us in the same way. And yet, there is still a lot of ancestral suppressed shadow that remains in our fields that has not been fully dealt with. And this is the most common thing I see, even for those of you who are really, really connected and channel and heal. There are still pockets of, density and distortion that haven't been cleaned up yet. So be sure and do that. It will make this whole process so much easier to up level and follow these desires. Like, okay, so here's a good one. Right now, seeing a lot of people called into creating community, creating new ways of living together, maybe creating new schools. But the questions are always like, well, how am I going to do that? How am I going to pull that off? Remember, the how isn't really your responsibility. It's much more the why and the what. So this week, I'll be there right alongside you. What have you still been holding back on or not really pursuing at the level you should be? Here's what Ashtar told me in a little tete-a-tete we had recently. He said, stop trying to climb the mountain and just go to the top of the mountain. That is what we are capable of. You know how powerful you are. You haven't even begun to put into play the full. It's like the armory. The full breadth of your abilities. And so guess what you get to do this week? I'm going to just drop in and see if there's anything specifically around this message that wants to be emphasized or added on to. Greetings, we are the Arcturians. Indeed, the channel is correct that there is a massive acceleration happening for what you call the starseed population on the planet at this time, and we would point your direction into the incoming star children. These masters, newly arrived and arriving every day on the planet, have certain expectations, and you have certain agreements with them. So the infrastructure that is meant to be resurrected to bring back a higher dimensional state of consciousness and indeed an entire civilization is somewhat behind schedule, but not too far behind. The catch-up will be very quick. We are happy to deliver this message, and indeed, upon the ending of this message, we will do a light language activation for you all to help validate that you are not in a fantasy of your own creation with the thoughts that have come to you. They have been given to you, these visions and psychic flashes, because this is indeed the blueprints that you are meant to build out in the physical at this time. Again, the emphasis and the urgency is upon the incoming. It is as though you have a building project, and this part of the project was meant to be completed already because the next crew of contractors is coming in to do their piece. Does that make sense? Of course it does. Excellent. Let us move into the activation portion of our message. Okay, thank you very much, Arcturians. Whoa, they're a fast-moving group. They're like brainiacs. What I felt on my end was a tremendous amount of density and blocks being cleared out of this space specifically. Okay, yeah, they're confirming that for me, preventing you from having clear vision. Okay, what else is there to say? Get to it. And I will too. Enjoy and happiness, okay? If this feels like work in 3D, flip it around for yourself. I am so happy and grateful. Now that I get to surrender to my divine will and do all sorts of illogical, epic shit that everybody else is going, what are you doing? Already? That happened? It's moving fast, people. All right, love you all so much.